Yeah, barbarians in Dungeons and Dragons. I would make some sort of like real life skit, like XP to level 3, but yeah, for now I'm kind of sick, so I don't invite any friends over, and my house is pretty small, and I don't have really good recording equipment or anything like this. So yeah, maybe later, if the video like blows up and gets like 1,000 or something views, then maybe I will try to do skits like this. But yeah, as barbarian in D&D, what are you? Yeah, you're just a chunky guy. You have D12 hit points, which is pretty good, and you can rage, which gives you resistance to all physical damage. And also gives you some damage boost, but the damage boost doesn't really matter because it's like 4 at maximum, and at levels when you actually play, aka up to level like 10, it will be maximally 3. So yeah, within like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 8 functioning levels on of D&D, you'll just get +2 for most of them, and for like 9 and 10 you will get +3 damage, which won't be all that like big. And yeah, also you have unarmored defense, which unless you try to like shove some constitution into your build and you don't focus on strength to actually like try to deal damage, then yeah, at like level 10 it will be at like level 8 it will be better than medium armor. At like level 8, if you just min max your dexterity and constitution at level 1 with like some sort with lineage feature. So yeah, that's pretty useless, and you have restless attack, which means that you have advantage on your like roll using strength, but enemies have advantage on rolls against you, attack rolls specifically. You have also danger sense, which makes you just have advantage on dex saves on effects that you see, which yeah, it's pretty good. And then Primal Paths, which is Ancestral Guardian, which essentially focuses on that. So if enemy doesn't hit you specifically as a tank, then the enemy will suffer some penalties to that. That's the whole identity of Ancestral Guardian. There's Battle Rager that completely sucks, so you just have like your special armor that has spikes on it. And when you're like rage doing it, then you can just like hug the enemy to deal like 1d4 damage. There's also Beast Barbarian that gets like natural weapons, which yeah, bite, heals, claws just claw the enemy a bit faster than normal weapons. And there's also tail that gives you just when you attack the enemy, of course it deals d8 damage, and the thing that you rolled on the d8 will be added to your AC. And notice how I didn't specify for how long. Well, the rules also didn't specify for how long. So you get a permanent boost to your AC whenever you just attack the enemy, technically. So yeah, another just poorly designed thing. Then Berserker, which is just like your most generic barbarian you can have. First you have Frenzy, which yeah, it's cool attacks. It's just a cool thing, allows you to just do one attack during rage, but then you get exhaustion level. It also allows you to like resist charms and use intimidate your enemies, which works just like a spell. But you don't use spell slots, and it uses charisma, which is not really that good. And if an enemy also damages you, you can use your reaction to hit that enemy. So yeah, just what you would normally expect. Also, there's Storm Herald that gives you a damaging aura, Wild Magic Barbarian that just does like weird stuff. You roll a d8 and you get like a magical effect for that. And also you have at level 6 a thing that requires you to roll a d3. Yeah, a d3. A 3-sided die, which most likely is just like roll a d6 and divide the number by 2 and make it rounded up. And also Zealot, which, yeah, like deals some considerable damage, and also it makes it so just being dead doesn't really like make you die. And that's all for already existing ones. We have also feature that at 3rd level and then at 10th level, which is optional, called Primal Knowledge, you get proficiency in one skill of your choice from the list available to barbarians at level 1. Won't be really useful all that much. And of course, you get your ability score improvements at like level 8, 4, 8, 12, 16th and 19th. And also at level 5 you get extra attack and 5 movement that just increases your speed when you're not wearing heavy armor. So yeah, they want to like balance it so the barbarian doesn't get heavy armor. Yeah, that's pretty cool, but you know, martials are already underpowered. And Feral Instinct that you have advantage on initiative rolls. Yeah. And if you're not incapacitated during the combat, you can act normally on your first turn. Even if when you're surprised, of course. And Instinctive Pause, that means that as a part of the bonus action you take to enter rage, you can move up to half your speed. And 9th level, Brutal Critical, which, yeah, you roll additional weapon damage die for critical hits with melee attack. You have 5% chance of a critical. Oh yeah, and also at 13th and 17th level, you will get additional dice. But once again, just seriously, I know that yeah, crits are cool, but we don't get too many crits. Also, Relentless Rage, which means that if you drop to 0 hit points while raging, you don't just die. You attempt DC 10 con save, and if you succeed, you drop to 1 point instead. 1 point instead. And if you use this feature later, the DC increases by 5. Until you make a short or long rest, which then it resets. Which, yeah, it's pretty cool. And Persistent Rage, which means that just it ends early only if you fall unconscious. So now you don't need to actually damage enemies or be damaged to keep the rage going. And Indomitable Might, which at beginning at 8th level, if a total for strength check is less than your strength score, you can use that score in place of the total. Which, yeah, just at 18th level, really good. I mean, like, everything past Brutal Critical is at, like, mythical levels that just destroy the whole map of the game. And over here, just, like, Barbarians stop functioning. And I can see why. And Primal Champion, which at 20th level, your Strength and Constitution scores increase by 4. And the maximum of those scores is now 24. And also, now you don't have limited uses of Rage. Whoa! So you can just like rage all the time. Well, you're kind of underpowered, you know. Considering how strong our spells that spellcasters get, you're underpowered. So, how would we fix that? Well, there are many ways. For example, in 4th edition, marshals were better, where they were way better. So we could just like copy 4E marshals. Yeah, I mean like you can complain about as much as you want about 4E, but you know like 4E was pretty balanced. You know, just as far as I look at it, even though 4E was a bad game, when I look with retrospect at it, because you know like I experienced 5E first, so I should have a bias towards 5E. But you know, even before the OGL drama, I decided to like try like see what 4E is all about, and yeah, even though 4E is pretty clunky, I'm going to tell you it handled classes, especially marshals, better than 5E, you know. And to be honest, 3E handled it way better. So yeah, we would need like a lot of homebrew to actually like fix the problem with that, which the most logical thing would be to like nerf spells. But if you don't like want to nerf spells and stuff like this, you should also try to check out maybe like other TTRPGs. It should work great with like Cypher system. In Cypher system you don't have a straight up barbarian, but you can just like make it. Yeah, because Cypher system is like the closest thing to Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. And you also have another system that is pretty popular right now, which is called Pathfinder 2nd edition, which handles barbarian way better in my opinion. I mean, not only they are balanced, and marshals have like a defined place at like kings and queens of like single target damage to enemies, and pretty good tanks, while spellcasters focus on AoE damage and also buffs. I'm going to tell you that barbarian is very cool. Like that barbarian can straight up just turn into a dragon, and it is well and balanced. Yeah, it's at late levels, but in Pathfinder 2nd edition, all levels function. All of the levels function. Same with Cypher system. All of the levels function and are balanced. So yeah, there's more than like 8 levels of gameplay in these systems. And also I'm working on my own personal system where barbarians won't be really a thing yet again. It will be more similar to Cypher system, where you know you have like 3 classes, which is just martial, caster and hybrid, where then you just point by abilities and stuff like this. You just like not really point by, you more like pick them, just like fits in Pathfinder 2nd edition, and then you can just take like the boost fit that allows you to take a transformation in order to actually like play something like a barbarian, which will be pretty good. Because personally, I don't see a reason to actually like play D&D over like any other TTRPG that is fantasy related, because so far, even though D&D is the most popular one, it's the most poorly designed one. Like just 8 levels of game actually function. It just, and what do you expect from a company that is owned by Hasbro? Yeah, I mean like Hasbro is the second most evil company right after Nestle. So yeah, just like switching to Cypher system or also Pathfinder and probably also Fate would be a way better option in my opinion. So yeah, just this.